So, what is it actually like owning a Lamborghini? Not only that, what is it actually like driving it? Because there's a lot of companies and people that will give you this like amazing dream world perfect view of the car. Why don't I just show you what it really is like? When the car first starts, you're going to hear it go to about 2,000 RPM. After that, it's going to drop down to about 1,100 RPM and kind of idle and bounce right there. A couple things about this car. The first is air conditioning. Most people say, oh, you know, the Diablo has horrible air conditioning, and they're right, as you can see. But this one is the 6.0 that has it much better. Another one of the most unique things about this car is the seatbelt. For us Americans, we're pretty much used to pulling the seatbelt over from this side. I keep forgetting when I swap cars which side it's on. As some of you may already know, reverse is actually where first gear is for most of your manual cars. It's actually at the top left. So when you're watching me, it's going to look like I'm going into second gear. That's actually first gear. So in this case, I'm actually going to go in reverse to back up. One of the first questions people will ask is, doesn't that ride horribly on Michigan roads? Relatively, yes. It really is not the funnest ride in the world, but it's not as bad as you think because you have forward-way automatic dampening. So it's an electronic system that at slow speeds it'll automatically stay in pretty loose suspension mode. And even though there's not much height for this car to bounce, it still is pretty smooth. Obviously, when you're going over 100, you're going to want it as firm as possible. So that's one of the first awesome things about this car is the engine. The engine is behind me, and it makes itself known. That is quite a beautiful sound. So for those of you who haven't watched some of my older videos, let me tell you a little bit about the basics of this car. First of all, it's a V12. It's got 550 horsepower plus. Lamborghini was nice enough to say, hey, you know, some of the cars tap out at 600, some of them are 550. We'll just say 550 minimum. One of the other things you guys are going to find out about cars like this is that with 335 millimeter wide rear tires, this thing can hang onto the road. It does have the weight distribution where it weighs more in the back of the car, which is unlike anything you've ever felt. It's, I think, 55% or 58% of the weight's in the rear, so it's just above half, but you can feel that when you're turning. Now feel this acceleration. And that's 80 miles an hour. One of the biggest problems about having a Lamborghini is that people love to ride in your blind spot, and if you see, it's a very tough blind spot because your rear window is covered by the engine bonnet. So what people tend to do with a Diablo, or any Lamborghini for that matter, is that they'll hang in the back corner and take pictures of it. You know, you'll see a lot of people on the internet make fun of watching a Lamborghini going only 50 miles an hour, and it's true. It's not as fun to drive this car in daily traffic. Especially stop and go traffic. That is the worst. Stop and go traffic, my left hip starts hurting because of the clutch back and forth, and the car just does not like to go into first gear over and over. It's not fun for anybody. A lot of people ask me about the clutch. Now, if you drive a Diablo properly, and I don't mean like a grandma, but I mean properly, you won't burn out that clutch as frequently as people think. Now, you'll get a lot of people who will crowd the car, staring at it, taking pictures, and in my case, I'll always leave like 10, 15 minutes before I'm supposed to leave, because I love to take time with people. That's one of my favorite things to do. Is I didn't buy this car in bright yellow to be hushed along and get annoyed when people follow me. That's not the point of this car. This car is to share, you know, a piece of art with other people. So that's one thing that I think most Lamborghini owners fail at, is that they don't They don't owe anybody anything, but it really is nice to share it with everybody. Railroad tracks are, in fact, a bitch. I do very much slow down, and I think other people want me to slow down as a Lamborghini going over railroad tracks. Now, one of the things you'll always see driving a bright yellow Lamborghini is people snapping their heads, and that's some of the fun of driving this car. Yeah, you look like an attention whore, at least I feel like an attention whore the whole time, but it's not me, it's the car, and everybody loves it. That's the whole point. Or maybe they don't love it, they just think that it's excessive. But regardless, it's still just a unique thing. It's not the normal car in Monroe. One thing you'll definitely notice, especially because I'm yelling more than just talking, is the ambient noise in this car. I'm cruising at 65 miles an hour, and it's tough to hear my voice on the microphone. And it really is loud in this cabin, but that's the point. I'm 5'10", 5'11", with the white man afro. I'm probably 6'3", 6'4", and you can see I've got quite a bit of room up there. It's actually pretty spacious. The other things you'll notice about driving a Lamborghini is getting onto on-ramps. It's actually really boring because 9 times out of 10, you'll be behind somebody who does not own a Lamborghini and will not go nearly as fast as you do. The Honda Fit cannot accelerate like a Lamborghini. But once you get past them, that's the fun part. What's the fastest I've gone in this car? I don't know. Let's find out. My mom does not watch this far into the video. Now, before I go, the last thing I want to tell you guys is that my next video is going to be another business-oriented one. You know, how to afford a Lamborghini. So I'm going to talk a little bit of numbers and you know, what I did to have a normal person, a real person, own a Lamborghini or whatever dream car it is that you might want.